Hello, on this day I tried to record the process of the loofah, but it was just too messy and my phone didn't want to record. But here is the aftermath of them soaking, and then we were just getting all the seeds out. I brought them inside to dry and I cut them up to help facilitate with the seeds. And they dried, some of them a little brown, a little bit, just different colors. My kitten here thinks it's a fun toy to chew and eat. I don't mind. It's still in the drying process. But as you can see, there were different shades of colors. This was the only one I left whole that day just because it was very messy and it took a lot of time to clean. Overall, they are still drying. I did not put them in the oven. I wasn't sure about that. So all I did was I left them outside for a few days and then I had to bring them in because we were going to rain. And this is what they look like when I cut them up and I had them hanging. And then some of the seeds are still in there, so I'm going to have to figure out how to scoop those out. I did have two mold on me and sprout some bugs, or some bugs hatch. But for the most part, for my first time doing the loofahs, I am absolutely excited. None others have molded. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and I still have not cut up the other one yet. So we'll see how it is. They have a nice crunch to them. This is the setup that I'm using for the inside. We've been getting too much rain for me to be able to hang them out to dry. So we'll have to see how they do. Overall, I'm thrilled considering most of these did not have enough time to mature because in Nebraska, our weather does not last long enough despite planting them out on the day after the last frost. So they had the full growing season to mature. And this is what we're left with. So like I say, you can see the inside. That one has a lot of seeds, no mold. And a couple of them I did cut off. They had mold. But other than that, I think it was a successful loofah harvest. My content will be switching from gardening, mostly because that season has passed here in Nebraska, to more homemaking and just showing you what daily life is like on one income. I am having health issues, which is why the videos haven't been coming out that often anymore. But one last surprise that we found was my asparagus. I had dumped them out of the container thinking they were a complete loss, and somehow their roots, they received enough rain that the roots just set in the ground. And then we're going to see if they survive the winter and if they come back next year. If they do, I'm so excited. I've had these seeds for 6 years now, so I didn't think they were viable at all. But look at that. Their roots and cute little asparagus fern heads. This is more the content that I'll be showing. I am working on 3 quilts actually, and I hand piece them. My sewing machine is as old as me, almost 30 years old, and the bobbins keep catching and ripping and the threads keep catching as well, so it's just very difficult. But I'm working on a 9-star quilt, a maple leaf one, and then a mirrored log cabin. I think it's a new pattern, but I do all of it by hand. None of it's by machine. So this was how my grandmother taught me. No machine. You literally piece it, you cut it. Your cuts are not going to be perfect because you're doing it by hand. And then you piece your quilt, which is what I'm doing here. I'm piecing the tops. And then after that, you will basically get the batting and the backing fabric, and then you will quilt them together and do the bias as well. And all of that's going to be by hand. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Also, I'll be doing more cooking and recipe videos, and as well as a budget video on how we survive. We have incurred more medical debt, so we're going to get tighter. And I know inflation is up and other people are going through hard financial times too. So I thought it would be nice to show the budget of a family of 4 making about $54,000 a year, and how we survive that and how you can too, and that you don't really have to sacrifice much in terms of quality of food. Yes, you do have to let go of a few things like eating out, drop some subscriptions, be more mindful of your choices that you're making when it comes to what you buy and when you buy it, making more things from scratch. But I'll go over all of that in another video. Anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful week. Adios.